11 months ago to the day, I had the worst mental health crisis of my life. I almost admitted myself to a ward because of it, because I was doing so unwell. So let's talk about the last year, essentially, and yeah, I don't know. So here's the thing. October 7th, 2024. Does this even start October 7th? Let's say October 6th, 2024, I was finishing up a book, and that book was not good for my mental state in the slightest, and it made me dissociate towards the end. I had like 100 pages left, I think closer to 80, and I dissociated heavy. I don't remember the end of the book. I don't remember what happens later that day. And the next thing I remember after reading that book, October 6th, at my little cousin's hockey game, was October 7th, crying on my now fiance's front porch. I want to clarify, this wasn't just me right now, a year later. I can't remember this one specific day. This was me coming to on October 7th, not knowing what had happened the previous day or that day. So this wasn't just me being like, oh, I don't remember this very specific day last year. Like, that's how memories work. I don't remember it immediately after it happened. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. So, there's a significant gap. I vaguely remember being in the car coming home from school on the 7th with my Nana, but other than that, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I know one thing that happened October 7th, and that's because I have photo proof that it happened and where I was on that day at a specific time. That is the only reason I know anything that happened on the 7th, or between the 6th and the 7th, I should say. I have a history of dissociation. It used to be really bad in high school. I miss days, if not weeks, and I don't recall most of my high school life because of that. I was not present in high school for the most part, which is probably why I really hate school, because I genuinely don't remember it, and to me, it just feels like a mental health crisis that nobody caught, because nobody did. I didn't know what it was, so I called it autopilot, and nobody understood that that was actually me not being present, so I never got help for it, which makes me wonder about the people who were in charge of looking after me, because, like, what do you mean you're not gonna, you know, make me tell someone, or, like, not even make me tell someone, but, like, what do you mean you're not gonna try to actually get answers for this? You know what I mean? I don't know. I digress. This isn't about high school. This is about last October. So because of that, the last 11 months have been a little tough. Specifically, winter of last year was awful. And this was a month into my first semester of my second year of university. My grades plummeted, let me tell you that. My GPA is horribly low right now. I started skipping school weeks at a time. I could not fathom giving two about school, honestly, because that was not where my priority was. My priority was in surviving, and it felt like I was doing awful at that. So after a little bit, I called a psych ward and I was like, hey, this is the situation. How do I go about admitting myself? Because I feel like I cannot survive in day-to-day life. Spoiler alert, they didn't accept me. They said my case was too extreme and they would call me back in a few months. They never did. And then we would maybe get to see if I was allowed in, if I was, like, tame enough to go into the ward, which feels kind of ridiculous, because what do you mean you're going to tell me that I'm too extreme to go to a psych ward? Like, what kind of patients are you accepting then? Like, people who are not actually in a serious crisis? Like, what do you mean? That's It feels ridiculous, but whatever. That was almost a year ago. I don't want to dwell on it too much. However, that is the point of this video. So winter sucked because I was trying to survive and trying to catch up. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I feel like people don't understand. When I am dissociated, at least, I don't want to put a blanket statement over this and say when everybody's dissociated. When I am dissociated, it takes me so long to recover from a quote unquote short time being gone. I was dissociated for, I think, 28 hours, maybe 26, something like that. And it took me almost the entire school year to recover. Given I wasn't like allowed to take time off, I was still trying to keep my grades up and failing. I was working my ass off to just pass these classes, and I had work. I had two jobs for a little bit during all that. I was genuinely trying to survive, and that's not good. So when you think about a day of my life, more or less, a little more than a day of my life, being completely taken away from me because I had a mental health crisis, and then it taking me, what, like 6 months ish to recover, that's awful. So then when you actually look at my high school life and me being dissociated for like weeks at a time, it makes sense to me why I needed to take a couple years off school to fully recover from that before I went back to university and threw myself back in this situation that is potentially triggering. You know what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm saying. I am a month away today from the anniversary of the last time I dissociated that heavy. Now, it has come and gone 2 times that I can recall in the past 11 months. Both times I was able to wake myself up and not dissociate too much for too long, but that feeling was still there. So it hasn't gone away completely. And I would like to say I'm still not getting help. I'm not seeing a therapist because my current therapist, who I am registered with, is not helpful, and I need to go about the process of finding someone else who specializes in so much that my current one doesn't specialize in, and that includes dissociating because I'm terrified of this happening again. The thing is, with the anniversary coming up, I'm scared that I'm going to hit a point where this happens again to a similar extent. And I don't want it to, and I don't know how to stop it, which is so fun, so fun. How do you stop something that you already have no control over? That's where I'm at. I have no control over when or if I dissociate again. So if it happens, it happens. I can't do anything about it. Nothing I can do can stop it, kind of thing. It happens, which sucks. But I don't have the skills. You would think after dissociating for like 10 years on a semi-regular basis, somebody along the lines would be able to give me the skills to not do this or to recover from this or whatever, however you want to word it. I don't know. That's not the case. So, what do I do now? I'm moving out soon in about a month, and I have a new job that I'm starting in 4 days. And I have my current job, which I am going to be at for another 2 weeks. And school has started, so I have a ton of assignments already, and I need to start doing my readings, my labs. I need to start writing a bunch of stuff. I need to learn a bunch of stuff. I need to get a tutor. I have a lot going on top of the anniversary of this horrific thing happening to me. So, like, what do you do? How do you survive all that? I don't know. I can't figure it out. And last time I tried figuring it out, I was not present for a very long time. I do want to say as well, when this happened last year, I did look up how long is a long time to be dissociated. Um, Apparently the amount of time that I was gone for, short in the grand scheme of things. So, at the very least, it being short means that it's not too severe. However, knowing what happened in high school, I know that I can very easily get to the point of it being super severe. So, how do I prevent this? And how do I go about a normal life after it happens if it happens again? It's a very tough thing to navigate, I feel, because, like I said, I don't have the coping skills for it because nobody has given them to me, and I don't know how to manage. But it's fine, I'll figure it out because, like most things, I need to figure this out on my own because nobody helps. I shouldn't say that. I do have a support system. The issue with my current support system is the people who I want to rely on, the people who I would rely on to help me out of this kind of stuff, they're not specialized in this. They can't actually tell me what's going on. They can't actually help me. They can be there, they can be supportive. They can't help. You know what I mean? Like, I would say my biggest support, the biggest person who was able to help me last year when this was happening is my fiance. He's not trained in any of this. He doesn't actually know what's going on outside of like what I'm telling him. And what I'm saying isn't going to be helpful because I'm in the midst of all this and I'm having breakdowns over my episode. So he can't help in the way that I need. However, his support and what he does do to help is greatly appreciated and I do really admire it. So if he's watching this, please don't take this as me saying that you're not helping at all because you are. It's just, I mean, you aren't trained. You can't help in the way that I need to an extent. I hope this isn't coming off as rude. So after the episode, after I came to, I would multiple people have classified this as a psychotic break. I do have a history of hallucinating. I am on meds for it because it is quite common for me. And after my dissociative episode, when I came back, when I was present, when I was aware, I could not tell my surroundings. I could not tell what was real and what wasn't. I was still kind of out of it. So that's what I mean when like people can't help me because they're not trained in this. I mean, I know people can help me. There are people who are trained, but like I also don't have the money for therapy. So like what do I do? What do I do? I don't know. All I know right now is I need to survive another 2 years minimum of university. I need to survive this year and I need to thrive this year to get my GPA back up. And until that happens, I don't want to focus on anything else, which means I don't actually want to put time aside to potentially stop a potential thing that is not actually guaranteed. The episode. um, However, if that does happen again and I don't have the skills for it, then what do I do? Because everything will just be so much worse again and will be so much worse than last time. I know that. So, like, do I get therapy? I mean, yes, but like, how do you find a therapist who is within your budget when you're working part-time and you're a broke college student who also specializes in hallucinations, dissociation, and all the such? You know what I mean? Like, I need to find someone who can help me understand my psychosis, and I also need to find someone who can help me understand if I have a potential dissociative disorder, because by this point I feel like I do, but that's really hard to diagnose, I feel, and I have not found someone yet who can help me with that. So I feel like I'm at a loss. It has been 11 months of me feeling like I'm at an absolute loss with this because I don't know how to manage and I don't know what to do. So, this is not me asking for help. If anybody tries to like diagnose me or like give me help in the comments or anything, don't. I don't want that. I would rather go see a professional that I have sought out. So, I appreciate wanting to help if you do, but don't. Thanks. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. The last 11 months have kind of been a roller coaster because of last October, and I am not looking forward to the October coming up, really. So, what do you do? What do you do? I need to seek out professional help. So, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this because it has been weighing on me a lot lately because I mean, like I said, today is a month away from the anniversary and it sucks. So, I just wanted to talk. And I talked. So, I'm gonna go. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go look up therapists. Okay, bye.